2013 memoir, noted that Obama's White House was by far the most centralized and controlling in national security of any I had seen since Richard Nixon and Henry Kissinger ruled the roost. Instead, as Gates and other sources within the State and Defense Departments have noted, all major policy matters were debated and decided among a small group of Obama loyalists at the White House, who lacked much, if any, substantive national security experience, and operated almost totally through a political lens. Their decisions often were presented to cabinet secretaries as close to a fait accompli. Also contrary to Panetta's boastful assertion, the controversial decision to place women into combat roles was not made as some homage to Hillary Clinton. Indeed, it really had nothing to do with Mrs. Clinton, or Mr. Panetta for that matter, both of whom Obama loyalists viewed with suspicion or disdain. One Obama appointee in the Defense Department, for example, denigrated Panetta as someone more interested in returning home to California every weekend than in running the massive Pentagon bureaucracy. In 2013, the primary focus of the Obama National Security Council was political, national security sources have told me. Reclaiming the House of Representatives in the 2014 midterm congressional elections. Losing the House to the Republicans in 2010 was an embarrassment to the Obama team. Obama's Women in Combat initiative was conceived to ensure that social issues remained front and center in the news. Moreover, women on the front lines would create a compelling visual as Obama Democrats continued to defend against the so-called war on women, a rallying cry in the 2012 election that sent single female voters to the polls in overwhelming numbers for the Democratic Party. Far more interesting about the Pentagon ceremony that day was not what was said on the platform, but the set of questions surrounding it, those that few asked aloud. The first, of course, was the state of the honoree's health. For one of the first times in weeks, Mrs. Clinton's lively brown eyes were finally freed from the strange greenish glasses she'd donned since her mysterious collapse the previous December. They had been outfitted with Fresnel prisms to help her see straight after what aides claimed was a concussion she suffered during a fall at home. One of the consequences of the strange adulation-suspicion dynamic that existed between the Clintons and the Washington press corps was that a number of reporters didn't believe the concussion story for a minute. For several weeks that December, the U.S. Secretary of State had not been seen in public, a time when her own record and that of the administration she uncomfortably served had come under its sharpest attack as a result of the deaths of State Department personnel on her watch in Benghazi, Libya. Some on the right openly speculated that Clinton had concocted this sudden malady to avoid testifying before Congress about Benghazi. However, as has often happened in the past, some of Hillary's wild-eyed enemies on the right seized the opportunity to propose a conspiratorial theory, in this case that she had a drinking problem. The pretext for this canard was an incident in which she was photographed drinking and partying in Colombia, a scene that ABC News caused a stir. The New York Post ran the story under the headline, "Swillery." After she inexplicably tumbled upon boarding her government plane, a moment repeatedly played on YouTube, right-wing bloggers had a field day. Rumors of her drinking became so pervasive that even President Obama joked about Hillary drunk texting him. Others believed her health scare was more serious than was publicly known, so serious that it could threaten her large ambitions. Whether by design or incompetence, the Clinton press team did not help douse speculation. First, reporters were told Mrs. Clinton had disappeared from the public scene because she was under the weather, as if she had a mild cold. Then they said she was severely dehydrated from a stomach bug, which caused her to fall and suffer a concussion. Only days later did they report she was being hospitalized for a blood clot in the brain. The latter malady, in fact, is a common definition of a stroke. According to WebMD, those symptoms include sudden dizziness, loss of balance or loss of coordination, trouble with speaking and understanding, paralysis or numbness of the face, arm, or leg, blurred or blackened vision in one or both eyes, or you may see double, a sudden severe headache, which may be accompanied by vomiting, dizziness, or altered consciousness.